Once upon a time in a bustling little town nestled between rolling hills, there lived a man named Samuel. He was known far and wide for his kind and generous heart. Samuel believed in the power of kindness and always tried to help those in need. In the same town, there was a successful merchant named Richard. He was a shrewd and cunning man who had acquired immense wealth through deceitful practices. Richard was known for his selfishness. One sunny morning, Samuel was walking through the bustling marketplace when he noticed a beggar sitting by the roadside. Samuel couldn't bear to see someone suffering, so he approached the beggar with a warm smile and offered him a loaf of bread from his bag. The beggar's eyes welled up with tears as he took the bread and replied, "You are a true blessing, kind sir. May your kindness be repaid in abundance." Samuel simply nodded and continued on his way, his heart warmed by the knowledge that he had made a difference in someone's life. His belief that kindness was the path to success remained unwavering. Meanwhile, Richard had observed this exchange from a distance. He couldn't fathom why Samuel, a man he considered a simpleton, would waste his time and resources on a beggar. Richard believed that success was all about accumulating wealth and power. Determined to prove his point, Richard decided to challenge Samuel's philosophy. Richard gathered the townsfolk and announced a grand charity event. He pledged to donate a large sum of money to build a new orphanage for the underprivileged children of the town. Richard approached Samuel with a sly smile and said, "It seems I have surpassed your kindness, my dear friend. My charity will make a lasting impact on this town, and I will be remembered for it." Samuel, far from being envious or angry, smiled warmly and replied, "Richard, I am genuinely delighted to see your heart touched by kindness. This act will bring happiness to many." The townsfolk were astonished by Richard's sudden change of heart. He had a reputation for being miserly and uncharitable, so this act of generosity took everyone by surprise. As the construction of the orphanage progressed, the townsfolk started to notice a stark difference between Samuel's and Richard's approaches. Samuel visited the construction site regularly, offering words of encouragement to the workers and making sure that the children's needs were met. In contrast, Richard was rarely seen at the site. He had contributed the funds but seemed distant and disinterested in the project. Over time, the orphanage was completed, and it was a beautiful and well-equipped facility. However, the children who had once looked forward to living there began to feel a sense of emptiness. The staff noticed that the children lacked the warmth and care they needed. One day, a young girl named Sarah approached Samuel and tearfully confessed, "Sir, we appreciate the beautiful orphanage, but it feels empty without love. Mr. Richard may have provided the building, but you have given us a home with your kindness and love." Samuel's heart ached for the children. He knew he couldn't stand by and let them suffer, so he decided to take action. Samuel gathered the townsfolk and shared his concerns. The townsfolk were moved by Samuel's plea and agreed to support the children with their time, love, and resources. They transformed the orphanage into a place filled with warmth, laughter, and a sense of belonging. Richard, on the other hand, saw the town's response to Samuel's call for help as a threat to his ego. He decided to take a more active role in the orphanage, not out of kindness but to regain the spotlight. However, Richard's attempts to win the children's affection were inauthentic and superficial. The children, distant from him, sensing that his intentions were not rooted in kindness. As time went by, Samuel's influence continued to grow. His kindness and generosity brought the townsfolk together, and they prospered as a community. In contrast, Richard's obsession with success through manipulation and deceit had isolated him from the townsfolk. His wealth seemed hollow, and he found himself alone. One day, As Samuel and Richard crossed paths in the marketplace, Richard approached Samuel with a look of defeat in his eyes. "Samuel," he said, "I thought success came from power and wealth, but I was wrong. I see now that true success is in the hearts of people, and you have shown me that kindness is the greatest way to success." In the end, both Samuel and Richard had learned valuable lessons about the power of kindness. Samuel had reaffirmed his belief that kindness was the true path to success, while Richard had discovered that genuine kindness could lead to a meaningful and fulfilling life.